let's see. What did I just say? I just was giving you a very, very good one and I forgot. Okay, yeah. Instead of you saying I don't like it, like when sometimes people bring you ideas, but guess what? And sometimes it's like you're like, but guess what? You can't shun them. You know why? Because you don't want to dampen that spark that they have in bringing you ideas, right? You want them to keep bringing you ideas, right? You want them to keep bringing you ideas. So you don't just look at it and just say, I don't like it. Don't do that, right? Don't do that. What you can say is, you know, this does not align with our direction. Perfect. And you explain why it doesn't work, right? Maybe the tone isn't right. You have to tell them, say, listen, look back through everything, all our advertising, look at how we talk to customers, right? The tone isn't right, etc. Right? But you don't say, I don't like it. You say, this does not align with our direction, right? That's something that you can say. Um, let's see. Instead of you telling somebody you're late, you don't call out people like that. Don't do it. Don't do it. That's why managers get bad reviews. Don't do it. Don't say that. Say thank you for joining us. Joining us. We have already begun. Or we had already begun. Side eye. Right? The point of what I'm trying to say to you guys and girls, guys and gals, right? The point of what I'm trying to say to you is we communicate with more than the words that come out of our mouth. All right? We communicate with more than the words that come out of our mouth. So you can still say it pleasantly and still be direct. Okay? And you can learn it. And everybody else knows what you mean in the room. Everybody else knows what you mean in the room. And instead of you saying, this won't work, right? Instead of you saying something like, this won't work, I don't like this won't work. What you can say is, hey, you know what? I think there are challenges with that approach. Or there may be challenges with that approach. Don't just say, this won't work, and shut people down like that. Don't do that. Especially if you're a manager, right? You don't do that. You should see the snow outside. My God, just like the sky is just open up. I just woof, woof, woof. That's why I knew like I couldn't start at 2:20. To start after 3 because I had to drive very, very carefully because I was in the woods. I have to drive real, real slow and real carefully on this ice. It's just snow, and like ice rain. So it's like, you know what? Instead of me rushing, let me just reschedule the live for 3:30. Right? Right. So yeah, you don't. There are certain things that you do. Okay, another one. Okay, here's another one that always end up people with tears in HR. That's a bad idea. You don't tell people don't say that's a bad idea. Please don't say it. Don't say that's a bad idea unless you want an enemy. A secret enemy in your workplace. Don't say that's a bad idea. Don't say that's a bad idea. That's a bad idea, no. What you can say is, there may be more effective alternatives. That's better. Doesn't that sound nice? And then that opens up the person, right? If the person's not a narcissist or the person isn't like, and if it's a narcissist, you can't help them anyway. Those people don't change, right? So you open up the person and you make the person become curious, right? And you save the person from feeling shame in front of other people. You don't shame people in front of other people. Don't do it. Don't do it. It will always come back to bite you. You might feel like you're a big man in charge at that time and you feel like, oh, you had one over on that person. But let me tell you something. The way how office politics is or just work politics is, don't shame people. You must have it that people come up to you afterwards and say, man, Miss Julia, or man, Miss T, thank you for that. Man, you saved me in there. right? There's always a nicer way, even if you don't like the person. Don't put no people in public. Don't do it. You're going to get some enemies. Okay, and people are vindictive when especially they come down to money, right? I'm not saying to try to be friends with people, but don't shame people. All right, good. So let's see another one. Never ever say this. I'm bored. Never say this. So if your manager comes to you and say, how did you find that task? Never say it was boring or I'm bored. Never ever. Don't, no, no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Snow in early November, signs of the time. You know what? It was sometimes it's in October. And you remember that song? Sometimes the snow comes down in June. Yeah, it does here in Canada. Right? What was I saying? Yeah. Don't say you're bored. Do not say that you are bored. I should have wrote it on this. So don't say you're bored. Just say, the task was not as engaging. There you go. It was not very engaging. And then your manager will say, okay. That means that she didn't feel like her mind and herself was being put to use. Thanks, Imhotep, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Right? Yeah. Right? You're not engaging. Right? Imhotep as a manager wouldn't be able to tell you these things. Right? Because these are the things. I sound like peanut butter again. These are the things that will end you up in HR with people crying, saying that you are mean to them, or you're not an effective team leader, or you're not an effective manager. It's just a matter of wordplay. It's all it is, wordplay. All right. Don't say that's impossible. That's impossible. You're gonna be a negative Nancy. People are gonna be like, oh, he's not a team player. He is not a team player. You know what I mean? What do you say? Instead of that's impossible, you say, that may not be feasible. Feasible. Use the word feasible. That may not be feasible at this time. Yeah, that's a good one. That may not be feasible at this time. Don't just say that's impossible or that can't work or that can't. Don't do that. And listen, sometimes I laugh and I don't laugh. I don't laugh at people because I know that they mean well, right? But listen, sometimes when I hear when some things that some of the managers or some people say, right? And even back in the day when I used to work for people, I work in law firm and stuff like that, right? Listen, man, I've been laughing at myself because I know exactly what it is that they should be saying, right? Or what would be better, what would make them come up. And they were right now, 100% right. But guess what? Being right, be right and be effective. You're trying to reach people. Okay? You can't hire yourself. These are the facts. You cannot hire yourself. That's why even companies spend so much money on marketing. You know why? Because your customer hires you, right? You cannot hire yourself. Okay, good. So I want you to know that. All right. Now,